Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm sharing what I am packing for my upcoming trip to South Korea. If you're tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to do these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so we can all mindfully curate our own collections. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your tips for traveling with luxury. All of your support really means a lot to me. I have done a good number of videos on like travel tips, how I pack my suitcases with my luxury items, how I pack my suitcases to bring back the purchases that I have made while I am away. So for this video, I think I'm going to focus a little bit more on the rationale behind the specific bags, some of the accessories that I'm choosing to take on my trip to South Korea. But before I get into the specific items, I want to share a new piece of luggage that I am taking with me. This portion of the video is in partnership with Level 8. They are a new luggage brand that actually reached out while I was in the market for a new check-in luggage. They do have carry-on sizes, but specifically for this trip, I was looking for a new checked bag. I got the Voyager 28-inch. It's the largest size that they offer in the Voyager line. And there were several characteristics of this piece that stand out immediately and I know are going to make it such a great piece to travel with. First of all, it is a four-wheel spinner style. I prefer four-wheelers. It just makes it easier for me to be able to carry them through the airport. They glide a lot easier than if you just had two wheels. You also don't have to carry as much of the weight as you move it through the wherever you're going. It's also super lightweight and scratch resistant. I think the capacity is about 90 liters, but it only weighs about 12.5 pounds, like just under 12.5 pounds, which means there's so much space to put in a lot more of your stuff and still meet the checked bag weight limit. The other thing that I love about this style of luggage is the handles, the trolley style handles, I think that's what they call them. You don't have those annoying like tracks in the middle of your suitcase and you're able to fit a lot more inside the suitcase. I also love that it has like a middle gripping handle, if that makes sense. So there are actually like little feet on the back side, fully on the back side and on one of the sides. And they also have extra handles. So there's on the top, there's on the side, and there's also in the middle. And that means it's so much easier for you to maneuver your own luggage, be able to fit it like in the trunk of your car. The fact that you have more places where you can grab your luggage means it's so much easier for you to move it anywhere. Sometimes you have to go upstairs with your luggage, and given how tall this style is, it could be harder to like lift and carry up the stairs. So having it in the middle means you can kind of carry it. You have a lot more clearance to go upstairs. And I also like that in the inside there's a dedicated wet pocket. Those are definitely some of the key features that stood out to me as someone who has honestly traveled a lot, packed and unpacked a suitcase a lot, and has gone through a fair share of luggage. It's a hard-sided piece. It kind of has its own kind of like utility look to it, which I like. If you have any other questions about the Level 8 Voyager luggage, leave them down below and I'd be happy to answer them, especially after I use it on my trip. I will leave a link below as well for you to check them out. They do have a few other lines, and of course they have carry-on sizes as well. So in case you're in the market for a new luggage piece, check them out. And moving on to the handbags that I am taking with me to Korea. I think I need to share also a little bit more context behind this trip because I think it will help. We will be staying in Korea for a much longer period of time than I typically would go on a trip. This one's going to be about a couple months, so it's definitely a longer period of time that I'm going to be away from home. And I am also really going at that peak transitional season time when it's like spring into summer. So the key focus for my packing in this trip is versatility and comfort, because if it doesn't work out, it ends up being like dead weight, you know, like I made all the effort to bring it over, and if I don't use it, then I get I get sad because it lost its purpose, right? So, so those are the key themes. The other thing that I keep in mind, at least this is my experience and my take on Korea, the style is more dressed up compared to the US. Of course, there's still like casual and street style, but like on average, you know what I mean? Oh, and the other piece of context is that I am going to Korea for my own wedding. So I plan on having a number of celebrations while I'm out there. I also have a family wedding to attend. So there will be many celebrations and things like that. So all of that goes into my packing choices as well. First and foremost, I will be taking my gorgeous Kelly 25. I am just super excited. I'm just super excited to take it. End of story. I'm just super excited to use it, period. But I feel like just how elegant this bag is in anticipation of the number of celebrations that are happening. So I will be bringing my Kelly 25. And the other Hermes bag that I decided to bring is my Constance 18. I did debate between, because you know, I do have a Birkin 30 and I also have a Picotin 18, and I was debating between this or my Picotin 18, and I was really struggling. But I felt at the end of the day, the option of being able to carry this crossbody kind of outweighed the pop of color that my Picotin 18 would bring to the wardrobe. So I opted to, so I'm going to bring my Constance 18 instead. You might feel like it's a little excessive to bring both Hermes bags because they're both pretty formal, but I also know that my mom can use these bags as well for any kind of outing that she might be going to, so I figured it wouldn't hurt to bring both. Now, swinging to the other side of the spectrum for a more like everyday or easy to wear kind of much more casual piece, I am going to be bringing my Celine Triomphe walk. This is one of my favorite purchases from Hawaii, cannot lie. I mean, I know there's a Constance 18 from my Hawaii trip, but this is definitely a very, very versatile piece, super easy to wear, and it's perfect for when I want to have a much more casual option and I don't have a lot to carry around. This is like running errands or, you know, running around to appointments or things like that. Like, this would be really great for that. I picked out these 3 bags, and at this point I realized that, you know, I'm sort of missing a Chanel bag. I don't have to take one, but I sort of feel incomplete without one. So I then was like, okay, let me see if there is a Chanel bag that I would want to take with me. And then I also realized that my handbags are all kind of small. They're all pretty petite. They fit all of the essentials that I would need to carry with me, but you know, sometimes you're out all day and like you just need more space. So the next bag I decided to bring is my Chanel 19. Now, I am not going to lie. I debated a little bit on whether or not I'm actually going to be taking this or not. Because of the size. It will fit in my carry-on, and I can nest maybe at least like one other bag inside of here. So it will work out in terms of packing, but I do recognize that this is a much larger bag. And second, I was like, oh, this feels like a big bag to take, and then if I don't end up using it, I would, you know, feel sad. I feel like I need a bag that has like a little bit more color to it. And I like that this has a pattern, but it's still pretty subtle. And like I said, it will work really great for those days where I do have more things that I need to carry with me. Like I still have a few appointments to go to and things like that. So like I can bring my notebook, I can bring, you know, some water or some extra stuff that I know I'm going to need. It will all fit in here. So I decided to take my Chanel 19 to add more utility and also to inject a little bit more casual flair, and can kind of combat how formal some of my Hermes bags are. I'm sneaking in another Chanel bag in my whole suite of bags that I'm bringing with me, and that includes this little, I guess it's called like a clutch on chain, or it might be called a card wallet or card holder on chain. They've been evolving the names a little bit over time, but this comes in super, super handy in the actual airplane. Because this is a crossbody style, I like to just wear it on me in the plane. Inside, I will have like my ID and a card in case I want to like buy something while I'm in the plane. And then I also make sure I have my AirPod case in here. I always find that I don't really have pockets on me when I am flying. Or even if I do have pockets, I always feel like the contents are going to fall out. I don't like to use the pocket in the seat back pocket in front of me because I feel like I'm going to forget something. Or something like an AirPod case is so small, it's so easy to go all the way to the bottom and then I have to like fish it out of there. So I like to just have a little bag on me, on the plane. Sometimes I'll use this, sometimes I'll use the Celine walk. It depends on where I'm going and what bags I'm taking with me. But I figured I would take this with me. It also adds another pop of color. Last but not least in the bags department is a more casual kind of canvas bag. I picked this up from Essence, I believe, when they had their sale going on towards the end of Feb, I think. This is a Yohji Yamamoto bag. It does have leather straps and it looks like I think they called it like an origami tote. It has no zipper or no closure or anything. It's just like an open sack. It's easy to just like throw things in there. This takes up like no space in terms of packing. I can just lay it on the top of my suitcase and close it and it will fit just fine. So I'm also taking this for the days where I know I need to carry some extra stuff, or I am, going to a place or in a mood where I don't want to have any like designer brands on me and I just want to carry something simple. And I just really like the kind of interesting shape that it has. So it's a canvas tote, but it still has like some sort of twist to it. I feel like I blabbered a lot about things that I am taking with me, but I hope you found this helpful in terms of like how I narrowed down the pieces that I would take, why I would want to take them, the different purposes, usage they would have. And I hope it helps you in your planning for an upcoming trip you might have. I also agree with you that this is a large amount of handbags to be taking on a trip. And to be honest, I have never taken this many handbags on a single trip before, but I also haven't been on a trip where I'm away for like several months. So it's kind of a learning experience for me too. But as someone who really gets a lot of joy out of putting my outfits together, I just can't see myself just having 2 handbags with me. That's how it has evolved into the number of handbags that I plan to bring now. You might be wondering why I am filming this video still in New York and not at my destination, and that is because there will be a lot of planning activities that need to happen before the wedding. So once I land, I don't actually think I'm going to have a lot of time to be able to film anything. So I figured this would be easier if I filmed it before I packed everything away. And then you can follow my Instagram, follow my channel, because I plan on sharing a lot more about my time in Korea, about what I'm doing, things that I've seen, all that good stuff. And on Instagram, you can see all the outfits I put together with all of these handbags. If you have any other questions on the level 8 luggage, any of the pieces that I'm taking with me, anything at all, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time,